Hello, I'm going to give a speech about cognitive enhancers, which are drugs you can take to make your brain perform better. I'm going to refer to the drug modafinil, and a brand, which is in fact modafinil branded, and it's branded as Provigil. So I'll start the speech. I recently read an article in the Daily Telegraph which said that just over a quarter of Oxford University students who were surveyed last year said that throughout the course of their studies they had taken cognitive enhancers. Cognitive enhancers are simply drugs to make you perform better in your studies or indeed in your exams. The drug that they had most widely taken was modafinil, which is sold under the brand name Provigil. Now, Provigil was originally developed as a drug to combat narcolepsy, which is a sleeping disorder. It turns out that it makes you concentrate harder, it makes you more focused, and it gives you better analytical skills. Sounds like a useful drug for interpreters, doesn't it? Well, maybe it is. But surely this is worrying. Surely this is cheating. If you're a student, you should be judged on your ability to work hard and use your brain as it is, and then perhaps produce good performance at exams. This is just like athletes taking drugs to perform better, and we've got to intervene, we've got to stop this. Well, that's just a problem. Given that you cannot organise a dope test for so many people who are taking this drug, it's a little bit redundant to call it cheating. There's just no point. Anyone can take it, we can't really screen for it. People who say it's cheating are kind of missing the point. It's there and people can do it, and we can't control it. What about the side effects? Surely these kids who are taking these cramming drugs, I suppose you might call them, are going to do themselves some harm in the long run. There's got to be some side effects there. What are the long-term effects? Well, there don't appear to be any major side effects, no more than drinking coffee, I suppose. It appears to be most useful for revising for exams or general study rather than exams themselves. But there are no very serious side effects. Some students have reported disturbed sleep patterns, loss of concentration when they come off it, but it doesn't appear to be anything major. So that's not really a reason not to take it. It's not really addictive either. You don't really get dependent on it. But surely this is immoral. This is immoral. Studies should be about your ability. If it's not cheating, at the very least, we've got to call it immoral. Well, I'm not convinced by that argument either. Just imagine for a minute a brain surgeon about to perform an operation on a child that normally has a 50-50 chance of success. Just imagine if it's been demonstrated that if the surgeon takes modafinil, it would give him an 80-20 chance of success. Surely the moral imperative is for the surgeon to take the drug. More widely, what I'm saying is surely our moral imperative is to use our brains to the very best of our ability. And if that means taking a drug, well, all well and good. We have a responsibility to do that. So the moral argument isn't clear for me either. There is an argument to say that as it's illegal, so perhaps we shouldn't do it because it's illegal. Not illegal to possess it or take it, but modafinil should only be acquired through prescription in the UK. How students tend to get round this is they buy from pharmaceutical companies not based in the UK and it's shipped to them in the post. So perhaps we should say that what they're doing has dubious legality, therefore they should be careful. Also, can they really trust the source? Where's this drug coming from? Well, perhaps. Personally, I don't feel I'm in a position to give any advice to anyone on whether they should take modafinil in their studies or not. I don't give advice generally. Perhaps I've reached my own Socratic paradox. I'm certain that I'm not certain of very much, therefore I don't really give advice. Or perhaps I've subscribed to my profession's Cartesian doctrine. I interpret, therefore I keep my trap shut, when I'm not working at least. So maybe I should round this off in classical skick speech style by saying that there are pros and cons and more research is needed, but it's up to each individual to think and make the right choice when it comes to cognitive enhancers. I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to come out with an appeal rather than advice. Please ditch the pills. Don't take them. Be your very own chemical-free superhero. My point is wider than whether it's moral or immoral or whether it's good or bad for us. My point is, if we accept that this behaviour is okay, where are we going as a species? We've always been a competitive species. That's why we're here today, because our ancestors were able to compete for natural resources or a mate. In more recent times, we've competed for jobs, houses, or the number of likes we can get on Facebook. My concern is if we're competing with things that don't involve just tools or skills, if we're competing on a playing field that means we have to take pills to catch up, to keep up, where's this taking us? Picture yourself in a new job. You settle in, you go to your desk, you start learning about your new company and your new job, and you maybe have some targets. Perhaps you're in sales and you have sales targets. And then you found out slowly that the rest of the sales office, all your colleagues, are on modafinil. They say to you it's the only really way you can get by in that job. It's the only really way you can meet your targets. If you don't want to take it, don't take it, but you might not hit your targets, and then you're going to be in trouble. And then what happens when younger students find modafinil and find it's effective? Do we really want GCSE students swallowing modafinil to try and get through their exams, to try and do better, to outcompete their peers? What I think we should do, if we want to use our brains better, is to combine exercise with study. That's effective and chemical-free. That's my appeal. But I confess I'm being naive here. Technology is going to play an ever bigger part in our lives. We're evolving with a closer and perhaps a more invasive relationship with technology. And it's useless to combat that, really. So, perhaps I'm being a bit fatalistic, but I do believe we've already lost the battle. But we owe it to ourselves, as a species, to go down swinging. Thank you for your attention.